Hello. Happy Sunday. Solutions for sellers. I am so excited. My doers, where are you guys at tonight? So much excitement, right? So much fun, so much excitement, all the things. I hope that you guys found tonight's training super valuable and super impactful. And hopefully you're going to get some awesome ideas that you can take into your business and start utilizing, right? Even if we don't necessarily know what our Black Friday deals are as of yet, that's okay. That's okay if we don't know them yet, but at least we can start getting ourselves prepared and we can start getting ready to rock and roll. I'm super excited to chat with you guys. I'm just here in my little Santa hat. You like my little Santa hat with my little Mickey Mouse ears? Okay, so let's see here. All right, so if you guys are watching, make sure to comment below. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Hopefully, like I mentioned, tonight's training was valuable for you guys. We just broke down some of the proven ways for you to start utilizing and start to really advance your sales experience online, okay? Comment below with what you learned. Did you learn something tonight? Maybe for some of you, this was kind of a reminder. I want to just throw this out there, guys. You don't have to reinvent the wheel when it comes to selling online. But when we're sticking to the basics and we get really, really good at the things that do work for us and we practice those skills, we just get better over time. It's kind of how it works, right? Welcome, Joanne. I see Pennsylvania in the house. We got Idaho, we got Oklahoma. Let's see. I added something new to my tool belt. That's exciting. Yes. Hello, Brandy. Welcome. Hello, Ella. Excited to see wonderful faces tonight. So I've got 3 tips that I want to give you. Okay. And these 3 tips are my top tips for more sales. Okay. Like I mentioned, when it comes to tonight's post, guys, I really wanted to keep it very, very simple. So hopefully everything made sense, but we want to keep it simple because again, these are tried and true ways for you to start really making sales online. And we don't need to go over the top with anything. You know what I mean? Like we want to make sure that they're simple because if you understand what you're doing and you're keeping it simple, that just makes it easier for your guests to understand what's going on. And the simpler with the less friction, right, that you can make it for your audience, the better. The more sales that you're going to end up getting, okay? Now, okay, so I've got these 3 tips that I want to share with you before we do. I know we've had a ton of new people over the last week or so, okay? Last week or so joined the group. So if you don't know me, my name is Janet Parks. I'm the CEO and founder of Solutions for Sellers. We help online sellers, direct sellers stand out online using simple tools, simple templates, and simple strategies. That is our jam. We absolutely love helping the average direct seller make a ton of money with their products, right? With showing up online and just utilizing very, very simple strategies. Okay. So that's why we wanted to make sure that these events are very simple. And if you are brand new, maybe this is your first time, comment below with hashtag new in the comment section. Every Sunday, we do a very short training. So typically, we have our 10 posts that go out starting at 8 p.m. And then they post every 3 minutes. And then typically afterwards, I go live and I answer your questions. I hang out with you guys. And so that's what I'm here for. I'm going to give you some tips and answer any questions that you guys have. Okay. I also want to let you guys know as well that our Black Friday deals have just released. So if you watched or if you saw the post tonight, make sure to take advantage of some of those deals. There are 3 awesome bundles that we're going to be offering for direct sellers. And these are some of my absolute best pieces of content. There's course material in there. There is a content membership in there as well. And there's a great deal on everything. So we'll go over that a little bit later. But first, I want to go ahead and give you guys the 3 top tips, my top tips for more sales, because who would like to sell more for Black Friday, right? Anybody on the struggle bus? If you are, comment below with maybe a bus emoji. Let me know if you're in the struggle bus when it comes to sales, because hopefully I can give you these tips and maybe something additional to kind of help you jumpstart your sales journey, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Somebody said, I learned different ways to build excitement. And guys, I want you to kind of hear that, because when it comes to selling a lot online, it is a skill set. Okay. Selling online is a skill set. Don't let anybody tell you that it's the easiest thing in the world. If you're having a hard time, of course, especially when we don't come from a sales background, right? I come from a sales background. Not everybody does, right? And there's so many people that market different things, right? It really comes down to your energy and your excitement, and then these 3 tips that I'm going to give you guys. Okay, I see the struggle buses. I appreciate you guys just being honest, right? It's okay if you're in a struggle bus. That doesn't mean that you have to live there, right? That doesn't mean we have to exist there. That just means we have to start getting creative, and we have to start implementing something, right? We got to start trying things out. Super excited to see your faces. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about these top tips for more sales. Okay. I have 3 main things, and regardless of what you do, okay, whether you take my tips tonight and you implement them into your business, whether you don't take my tips and you don't implement it, maybe you try other strategies out there, regardless of what you do, I think, in my opinion, these are the top 3 things, okay? In any kind of event, any kind of incentive that you throw, anything that you're doing when it comes to selling online, these are the top 3 things. I think it boils down to these 3. I think struggle bus is important for learning and growing. Absolutely. I love that comment. I don't know who said that. I wish StreamYard would show everybody's names, but I love that comment, because honestly, guys, I actually shared this in a story the other day. People don't want to go through the trial and error phase. Okay. I'm going to go in this teeny tiny little tangent and I'll give you these tips. But people want to skip the trial and error phase, right? They're looking for something to help them bypass that, right? When in reality, if you're not good at something, it means that you're meant to learn a lesson. If you're not getting instant results on things, it means that you're meant to learn a lesson, right? That's just how business works. There is no 100% success rate, regardless of what strategy you've tried or how much money you pay for something, right? That's supposed to give you the groundwork. There is never a 100% success rate with any strategy, because if that was the case, right, like we would all be rich, right? We would all be super successful, but we're not, right? And that's just how it works. So I want to make sure that I give you guys some value here, and really just remind y'all, whatever you try, just because it doesn't work the first time doesn't mean that you should toss out that strategy. Whatever you try, if you only get a sale, if you only get a response, if you only get 1 booking, you need to celebrate the crap out of everything you gain in your business, especially now, because that's how you keep yourself motivated and excited. And right now, it's a weird time in the industry, right? Can anybody agree with me on that? It's a weird time in the industry. So hopefully this gives you at least some motivation and some inspiration, so that you can hear what I'm saying and understand that it's not always going to work the first time. That doesn't mean that it's a strategy that you toss in the trash. It means you learn from it, and then you get better and better. Okay. I can't tell you how many times I have failed, right? I've failed so many times, guys. All right. I really have. I've had people reject me. It happens to all of us, regardless of how high up the ladder you're in or what ranking you're at. Everybody deals with the same thing. I promise you. Okay. All right, so let's jump into these 3 tips, shall we? Okay, so number 1, all right, my top tips for more sales. The very first tip I want to give you guys, regardless if you know, which by the way, comment below, do you know what your Black Friday deals are for your company? Okay, comment below. I'd love to know if you know them. It's kind of shocking and really weird to me when direct sales companies don't give you the deals ahead of time, right? Like, it's not to be negative, but it's like, why don't they tell you this stuff ahead of time? I had somebody message me yesterday, and she was like, Janet, every time we do Black Friday, they tell me the morning of, so I have like no preparation. It's like, that's kind of rough, right? But that's okay. That's okay. we got to work with what we have, right? That's okay. But here's the deal. Regardless if you know what your deals are, or even if you don't know what your deals are, you know that you can anticipate something is coming, right? So that's okay. Anticipate that something's coming, right? And then just get ready. Just get ready for when it does drop. And hopefully your company is giving you some graphics and giving you some resources. But yeah, I mean, it is kind of rough when they don't tell you ahead of time, but that's okay, because you know what? Everything happens for a reason. And And if you really want to stand out in your business and in your company, create your own incentives. Number one is create incentives, craft your own incentives. Okay. I do this in my company every year. Regardless of what my company is doing, I still craft my own deals. All right. Sometimes when somebody purchases something from me, right, if it's like a big collection, right, and it gives me like enough profit margin for me to like ship them something, then I would ship them something. Let me see. Where's the thing I just had? Okay. So in my company, for example, if you don't know what your incentives are, all right, that's okay. Here's just a thought. All right. For with my company, when you buy one of the biggest collections, I ship out this little doohickey here. This is like a little measuring tape, and it just goes with the system that I sell it. Okay. That sells. So as soon as I see their transaction, I give them this as an extra incentive. So for Black Friday, if you make an X amount of purchase or more, I'm going to ship you this doohickey, right? Think of something that is small that you can get that does not cost a lot that you can ship out to your customers that do participate in your incentives, okay? And then ship them out, and then maybe go onto Canva or Vistaprint, right? And then create a little thank you card, right? Something that's meaningful, something that's like handwritten, because that's that extra touch that makes you a little bit different, if that makes sense. So regardless if you don't know what your deals are, you can still do little things to allow people to want to come shop with you and create those incentives. For me, I like to know things ahead of time. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like to know things ahead of time. So I'm blessed that our company does like let us know about 2 weeks ahead what the deals are, but still, I'm still going to be offering my little incentives on the side, right? If I want to offer a coupon, if you have the ability to do that, right? If you can offer a gift certificate, if they place X amount of order or more during a certain time period, you can offer those things, right? So yeah, so that I would say that's a good tip. But number one, create those incentives. You don't necessarily have to wait on your company to make a move before you make your own move, if that makes sense, because people are buying now, people are purchasing now. Okay, so that's number one, create your own incentives. You don't have to stick to the status quo of your company. Okay, number two, this is a very big one for those of you that do want to sell more. All right, and you want to make an impact throughout this holiday season, the number one thing that I'm sure a lot of you are not doing right now is being visible. Okay. You have to be visible to be seen. Okay. So here's what I mean by that. And I want you guys to comment below and participate here. All right. If you are marketing online and you have an online business, how often are you marketing outside of your closed communities? Now, what I mean by that is outside of your VIP group, outside of your business pages. Okay. This means it's out there into the world, in your stories, in your reels, on your personal feed. How often are you doing that? Because if you're not visible, you will not be seen, right? Now, for those of us that want to stick to our VIP groups, right? I mean, you could do that, but you're still going to be limiting yourself to the people that are in that group. And if your engagement is already down in your VIP group, then it's going to be kind of tough for you to be able to sell more, even though you'll probably have people that are watching what you're posting, what you're talking about in your VIP group. Y'all need to understand it's 2023 for those of us that are in like direct sales, and we have these companies telling us to stick to our VIP groups and business pages. I'm here to tell you, you need to branch out. Okay. If nobody's told you that, you need to branch out. This doesn't mean I want you guys to not confuse this. This doesn't mean you slap your products all over your personal page, right? We're not Spamela Anderson. Okay. We don't do that, right? What we want to do though is become visible. Little things that you can do to make an impact now before your deals release, for those of us that are waiting for our Black Friday deals to release, is start creating curiosity in your stories. Start talking, right? Start connecting with people, start creating conversations. Even if you don't have a ton of products to sell right now, because maybe some of you guys are waiting for these Black Friday deals to drop, that's okay. Talk about something else, right? Sometimes I go into my stories and I talk about this book which, by the way, if you haven't read this is life changing. Sometimes I talk about this book that I'm reading and I talk about some of the highlights, right? And what this does, ooh, sorry, I just knocked my camera. And what this does, it creates connections. I'll have people reply to me in the story saying, "Where did you get that book?" Or "That's so impactful," or "Oh my gosh, that's so amazing." Another example, we started homeschooling our 7-year-old very, very recently, and I started sharing that journey in my stories. I can't tell you how many times people have messaged me saying, "Oh my gosh, what program are you using? That's so amazing. How is she liking this journey so far? How are you managing your busy life and homeschooling at the same time?" So do you see like how you can start showing up outside without necessarily saying, buy my products, buy my products, buy my products, right? Stories, people are 15 times more likely to watch your stories versus what's on your feed, right? So if your engagement is already low, start now, right? Start posting simple engagement questions on your personal feed. So I did one the other day. Do you guys, I'm debating on what kind of tree to get, right? So I might do a real or a fake tree. What are you guys doing? Now that's probably an overplayed engagement post, but it's on my wall and I can't tell you how many people have commented, at least 30 comments of people commenting what they're going to do, right? And I added a little bit of context to that post. It's just a little bit different instead of real tree or fake tree, right? These are just opportunities to create conversation, because what happens when you create conversation? Conversations create conversions, guys. Okay. I want you to write that down somewhere. I've said that before in the past, but conversations create conversions. You need people to conversate with to sell your products. And if your VIP group is dead, I want to encourage you guys to start showing up there. I post on several platforms, but need to be more visible, not just post of products or quotes. Yes, you absolutely do. Because here's the deal. Some of you guys said I post on all the platforms and nothing's working, right? Here's the deal. What are you posting about? If you're just posting graphics and you're just posting products, people can't connect with that. Okay. One of the biggest determining factors if you're going to be successful online is how well you can connect with people. And the fact is people can't connect with graphics. They can't connect with products, but they can connect with humans. And here's the deal too, right? I'm just adding on to this. If people aren't buying your thing right now and you're marketing and marketing and marketing and marketing, typically, not always, but typically that means there is a connection issue, okay? Because I have to trust you if I'm going to buy something from you. All right. You have to think, how do you shop? Really put yourself in their shoes for a second, right? Maybe you're following somebody. Imagine, like, would you follow you, right? With how many times you're posting about your business, would you purchase from you? Ask yourself that question. Go review, go do a self audit. I've had to do self audits in the past. And then when I have, I'm like, okay, this is too salesy, right? I'm posting way too much about sales. I'm not posting enough about me. And I notice every time I post about me and my family, people want to connect. People yearn for connection. So let people in. Okay. Let's see. If you have old catalogs, ask around town and see if you can put them in their waiting rooms. That's great, right? That's kind of an old school concept. But if you haven't connected with your local town, or maybe you want more in-home events, right? Maybe you want more opportunities to sell in person or set up. I know for my Mary Kay people, what are those called? Like in-home facials or something, right? Then go exactly. Leave a catalog. Attach your business card to your catalog and leave them in waiting rooms. That's such a great idea. Again, a little bit of an old school concept, but those are the tried and true. I started with this live training saying that we're not sharing anything outside of the norm. These are all very simple strategies that you can implement without reinventing the wheel, because these things work when they're practiced, right? Okay, let's see. How many trees do you have? Is there another great Oh yeah, so many people have multiple. You know what? That's such a great engagement post. You guys write this down or take a screenshot and then take this question. How many trees do you put up in your house every year for Christmas, right? Maybe that's the engagement post. And then add a Christmas tree emoji, add a colored background, and post it on your feed and just see what happens. See what happens, right? See how much engagement you get. Colored background posts, they tend to just attract comments. So try that out, right? I do post all of these, but I haven't started reels yet. And that's okay if you haven't started reels, right? Reels, they can create some traction for you. They really can, but it's all about that visibility. space, right? It's all about being visible. And Reels is just that extra thing that you can do to put yourself in a space where you are visible to a potentially brand new audience. Okay. Yes, it is. It is an amazing one. That's a great conversation starter. Okay, let's see. I haven't put a tree up or decorated in 5 years. I have to put up about 100 trees around town. You have to put up 100 trees around town. Are you a professional tree installer? I need to know the details of this, right? Okay. I think the hard part of online marketing for me is I feel that I post too much and I feel spammy Sammy. Oh my gosh, guys. And then when these sales come up every week, we post it again and it's another sale, another sales post. How do we cover everything without doing too much? I love this question. And here's, first of all, I'm going to answer the first part of your question. If you feel like you're spammy Sammy, I want you to evaluate your post for the last like 2 weeks and really ask yourself, okay, do a percentage thing and ask yourself, how often am I really selling? Like, am I selling too much? Because you'll realistically know. Like if it's the majority of your content, post, sale, then yeah, you need to slow it down some. But if it's like onesie twosies in between your content, then you're not being Spamela Anderson. Okay. I think that's like the number one concern that most people have. Okay. I get this question all the time. How do I do this without being spammy? First of all, I'm going to tell you that. But the second thing here that I want you to understand, that it also is a sales season. This is Black Friday. So if you are posting more about your sales than not, or if you're posting a little bit more than you typically do, that is also normal. It's normal because people know it is the season to go shopping. It is the Black Friday season. People are shopping right now. Amazon, I get emails all the time. Like, are you guys starting to get holiday emails? I get them all the time because this is the season. 'Tis the season. So you wouldn't really be an oddball even if you were marketing a little bit more. Okay. So I understand what you're asking here. But here's the second part of your question, right? We have sales every week and we post it again. It's another sale, another sale. You don't have to participate in your company's sales. There have been sales that my company has just ran because there was a period of time we were doing sale after sale after sale. I'm like, oh my God, this is too much. My people are going to go nuts, right? So I don't market them. Sometimes I decide what I want to market. I don't let my company decide. Maybe they'll get an email from my company, but my people, they watch my texts, right? They watch what I post in my group. They watch what I'm saying in my stories. And so I decide what sales I'm going to market. If they happen to see an email and they want to buy through that, fantastic. I'll get the credit. Thank you, company, for marketing for me. Thank you, company, for these opportunities. But that does not necessarily mean you need to rally behind it and market it. This is something that I've trained my team on also. It's like, just because there's a sale doesn't mean you need to go gun ho for it, right? We need to get ourselves in a point where what happens when there's not a sale, right? I mean, obviously it's the holidays now, but what happens when there's not a sale? People should just want to buy, right? Anyway, but don't feel like, just because there's a sale going on, you have to market that. Anyway, so number one is create incentives, right? Top 3 tips for more sales: create incentives, craft them. Okay. Number 2 is you have to be visible to be seen. And those are just some basic areas, right? In your posts, posting on your timeline, just simple engagement questions. In your stories, right? Posting in your reels, go live. Comment below, how often are you guys going live? You guys can make such a huge difference in your business when you decide to go on camera. Okay. There's like 30 of you guys hanging out with us tonight because we're here, right? I'm answering your questions. I'm hanging out with you guys, right? This is a prime way. Just watch what I'm doing. I'm just connecting with you guys. Do you get that? You can do this in your group, right? You could you could do this outside your group once a week on your personal timeline. For those of you that are afraid of doing this, right? I need you to get over that fear. Just go do it. Just do it. Go do it one time and see the positive reactions you're going to get. Go live on your personal feed. If you sell skincare product, go live and talk about your 5-minute skincare routine that you do every single morning that gives you radiant skin, right? Because you're the expert in your niche. And guess what? That's not Spamela Anderson. That's very, very simple, right? Keep it simple. All right. I've slacked off going live big time. I need to get back to it. And that's okay, right? This is the part where we can recognize, hey, you know what? My results are not where it needs to be. Where am I lacking? Where can I improve? What can I do to make a difference in my business? And right now, if your deals haven't even dropped yet for you guys, show up more. Show up, go be visible, go give value, go teach, go educate, go give value to your audience so that when your deals do drop, they're going to be more susceptible and they're going to be more open to buying what you have because you've been visible, you've been sharing, you've been valuable, if that makes sense. Okay? It's time to go live on your personal page, my friend. And that doesn't mean you're selling in your personal page, right? This is just you giving value. This is how you attract people, right? Your social media marketing, reels, stories, your posts, those are all like your lead magnet, right? That's what that is. And then eventually somebody's going to, like, when you're live, somebody's going to watch your live. They're going to like what you have to say. They're going to join your VIP group and they might just buy your Black Friday deal. That's how it works, right? You got to create that funnel. Okay. That's the goal. Anyway, third tip. Okay. This is the biggest tip. And I want you guys to write this one down if you're taking notes. Here's your third tip for more sales during this holiday season. And this is one that a lot of people skimp out on because nobody likes the legwork. Okay. This is the legwork, but this is the most tried and true strategy. And this is what I teach in my coaching. I've taught this for a long time now. In order to create success, you need to create connections daily in your messenger, daily in your messenger. Okay. I cannot stress the importance of this. I've had students, right? And people that hire me to coach, right? And they're like, I don't understand what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm posting, I'm talking in my stories, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing all the marketing, right? But what I'm not doing, right, is starting the conversation. So here are I don't know what the green dot method is, but this is what I do. These are the 4 main things that I focus on when I create connections. Okay. I start conversation, invite, engage, and follow up. Those are the 4 things that you can do on repeat on a daily basis in your messenger, and you will start to see results. Okay. It's kind of like a fail proof method. If you are consistently starting conversations with people that are commenting on your content, engaging on your content, excuse me, engaging on your content, maybe they're watching your content, they haven't necessarily engaged with you, then you will always talk to strangers. You will always talk to new people. Number 2 is invite. If you're consistently inviting to an opportunity call, if you're consistently inviting to a Zoom call to share about your opportunity, inviting to book a party, inviting to your VIP group because you're doing this awesome weekly signature event, right? This holiday Black Friday event, right? If you're constantly inviting, you're going to attract new people, right? What you focus on grows. The third thing, engage. If you are engaging with people on social media, your feed, your algorithm, your results when it comes to engagement, that's going to increase. And then the fourth one, follow up. I can't tell you how many times I see people leaving money on the table consistently because we don't follow up because we're scared, right? A lot of us are afraid that we're nagging or we're spamming when you're just following up in a conversation like a normal human being, right? So I want to encourage y'all, right, to create those conversations daily. And that's interesting. Okay, so in Messenger, when you see somebody online, message them. Gotcha. I mean, you could do that for sure. If that's a strategy and you see people that are online, you can start a conversation. Absolutely. Right. I just start with the letter A and go down. And if they're not my people, then I invite them to the block party. Right. Like if they're not my people, but they're on my friends list, then I need to clean up my friends list. Right. So just start there. Start conversations, invite them to something, right? You have to invite somebody to something if you want them to take a look at your something, right? Engage with them on social media, build those connections, and then follow up. Those are the 4 things that you can focus on a daily basis. So let's recap these top 3 tips. Number 1, create incentives. You don't have to wait on Black Friday on your company. Okay. You can start right now. Number 2, be visible to be seen. You have to start showing up where people are hanging out. And if they're not necessarily hanging out in your VIP group, because maybe the engagement's a little low, then hang out outside of that group. Find new people. Okay. And the third one is create connections daily in Messenger. Daily. And it could be simple things. Hey, Chelsea, thanks so much for checking out my stories. What did you like most about what I was talking about? Hey, Jennifer, thanks so much for checking out my stories. I really appreciate the support. How are things going? How's life? How are the kids? Simple ways to start those conversations, my friends. We just have to simplify. Simplify what we're doing, right? Absolutely, absolutely. All right, guys, those are my 3 tips. Any more questions, you can pop them below. Friendly reminder, we still have the Black Friday deals that are released. So if you want to check those out, there's a link above this live training, and there's also a link on post 9. Incredible deals, so make sure to go and check those things out. And if you have any questions, guys, once again, just pop them below. If you found value in tonight's training, hashtag value in the comments, okay? And I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. And I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye, my friends. Enjoy your night.